Hey guys, it's Drew here. So many of you know that One Book July is happening at the moment alongside Camp NaNoWriMo, and you can probably guess that I won't be doing either of those things because as much as I love those challenges and am inspired by them, I just don't really get along very well with challenges like that. So, what does that mean for my creativity and where am I heading? I have a video coming up, or if not already uploaded, about my intentions for July to go really back to the basics of things because I realize that my journals and my notebooks are a reflection of where my mind is. And I was kind of looking at my shelf the other day thinking, majority of the time, I can probably I use up a journal and then I move on to the next one and I use that up completely and then I move on to the next one. But since I am compartmentalizing so much stuff and have been for probably the last 6 months, I have started a lot of journals. Some of them are like really nearly done and then I start changing up again. Some of it's because I just need a fresh start, or I think I need a fresh start, or I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, or I start a new project, or whatever. So, I'm going to show you quickly the journals that I have been working with probably for the past 2 or 3 months, and then I'm going to show you the two journals that I'm going to be working with. One is an actual journal that will hold everything I do, so like my dreams, my like daily tarot meditation work, my recovery things, and that includes like note taking or journaling exercises from the recovery books that I'm reading. And what else was I going to put in there? Like my normal spiritual stuff. I do actually keep a moon journal where I track the phases of the moon and I write my intentions for the month and I work weekly with that. Didn't go so well in June because a lot of shit came up and I just did not, my body just and mind were just not connecting properly. But I feel like I'm starting to get back to sinking back into my body again and actually feeling things. So I'm going to be putting that in my journal as well. So there'll be a whole ton of shit in one place, which will be kind of nice for my brain because I do like changing things up, but I also really like having everything in one place. In saying that, I have a spread um, art journal kind of thing that I use to create spreads or write spreads for tarot stuff. And I also have a binder book where I do my longer spreads and my dream interpretations, and which I am not changing because that works really well for me. And I find that I prefer to do my longer workings and my longer spreads on loose leaf paper and then it goes into the binder. And that's sort of a place for me as well. And like this. Oh, sorry guys. Kind of like I will write everything on my clipboard because a lot of the time when I'm doing really larger spreads or larger projects, I kind of need a lot of space. And the journal that I will be using, which is this one, is quite small. Um, and so the idea with the journal as well is if I do have dreams, whenever I feel like I want to start interpreting a dream or working really heavily with one, then I will be going back to this paper and then putting it back into the dream section of my binder. Um, to me, that works better. So the journal will be a place for everything, and then I can sift through that later on as well. And I usually only interpret dreams if they're really, really prominent and important, and I feel like I need to interpret them because it takes me a couple of days or weeks to actually go through them and then come back and go through them again and actually read the messages. So, the journals that I currently have on the go is this one. I've got a little bit to go. And another thing that I'm kind of hoping that or thinking about is that after I have completed that one, during July because I intend to write a lot. That's another thing. I'm deeply committed to writing and journaling this month. I need it to come back to me, come back to the healing process and recovery process. And when I don't write, I go insane. So I'm hoping to come back to these and maybe finish them off as well. This one I recently started as my recovery journal, and it has a lot of pretty intense shit in it. And I started talking to the Morrigan in it, and I'm looking forward to transferring that stuff. Not like writing it out again, but transferring the intentions of that into my other journal as well. And I'll come back to it at the end of the month. The best thing about journals is they're not going to disappear. This one started out as sort of like a tarot journal to work with some of the books that I've been reading, but it just turned back into a normal journal, and I'm not really far into it. I love the covers of these journals. I have a few, but after like a couple of days, I just can't work in them. I don't like them as much as, say, like these ones, because I don't open far enough, and this part here is quite hard. So I kind of have to be in the mood to use that, and this is probably one of the reasons why I keep changing journals as well. And lastly, the two journals I have here is my dream journal and meditation journal, which also ties in with my tarot meditations and connecting with archetypes. And you've seen this, a little bit of this before. I'm really enjoying this. Really, I'm looking forward to coming back and continuing with the Wildwood Tarot and doing my meditations, because it's been really helpful, and a lot of the images and stuff are playing out my dreams. So I love that. And this book, this journal, they're both from Kmart and they're both from the same line. So when I decided that I really liked this one, I decided to pick up this one as well. And lastly, like I mentioned, I have my moon journal that I started when I was doing the lunar course. I kind of, oops, as you can see, I kind of map every day and what the star sign we're in, like, and what the moon phase is. But I stopped a little bit in June. I think it was June the 19th. So, and I find this really helpful, especially doing the course, but after the course as well. It's really good to check in weekly about where I am with my intentions of my creative projects and what needs to change or shift or die or be reborn or recycled or whatever. So having something like this keeps all that stuff that's going around in here. And I'm gonna miss this probably the most, but it's okay. Everything can go into another journal. And so, as I said, this is my, oops, I've got my card for the day in there, which is the Watcher, Queen of Mirrors, Queen of Cups, of course. As we're going into Cancer, it makes a lot of sense, since I'm a Cancerian as well, and I'm a Water Witch, to be moving with the Queen of Cups. So I've got that, and I love this, like, I love the inside of this too. It's just so girly. So, ooh, I love hardbacks. I have a thing for hardback notebooks. And in terms of my planner, I showed you guys this in my last video, July Focus, that I've created I've created my own Midori inserts for my traveler's notebook. My primary mission, sorry, is to work out whether the traveler's notebook actually works for me or not. Whether it works better with my own inserts or whether I work better with inserts that are already created. Because I do have a lot of inserts that I've already used in my Fodori, and or whether it's just a place that I can put all the things in, because I usually take my inserts out when I'm working with them. I don't work with them when they're inside. And if you have seen my video, I won't go into too much detail, but I have a sort of plannery kind of thing which for me, I'm planning on writing the tarot cards that I get each day in there, and maybe just like a little bit about it. And I have my dot point, what do you call it? Yeah, dot grids, not dot grids, square grids, sorry. And that's going to be like, where is it? This is going to be a replacement for you. I can never pronounce it. Leechburn planner. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you've seen this, you'll know. And because I like the grids, and I think the grids are just a little bit bigger in my. Yeah, they are, but I really love the grid principle. And because I'm starting school, what I usually do for school is I have a bullet system for my planning and assignments, and that really works well. So I thought a lot of the stuff that I like to put in here can quite easily go into that small notebook for a month. Like, I am not going to need any more than that notebook for the month of July. And I think it would be interesting to actually look at the kind of things that I do document and list as well, and my progress with that kind of system to see whether, you know, that system is still working for me or whether it's not working. I also have that small book with the lines in it because I'm going to start writing out the quotes from the books that I'm reading as well, like the really important quotes on recovery, and make a little book as well, so that this book in particular will either stay in here or it will go into my backpack. So when I'm at school or I'm somewhere else and I'm having like a really anxiety moment where I'm going to melt down because I can't focus properly because there's all these traumatic flashbacks and things like that, I'll have that book that I can just like pick a quote and read about, or have my journal next to me, pick a quote and just write about how I'm feeling rather than carrying around the thick books that I have, because the Courage to Heal is probably like, it's like this, it's really, really thick. And then I bought a couple of other books as well, which I'm going to do a haul about. And so, and I'll be reading those in July as well, or starting to read them. So I kind of have a lot of writing and reading energy coming in, and I'm really happy with that because it's winter. And like I said, I've got school coming up, which is exciting because I'm going back to school and doing my writing degree. And so I think that I do definitely want to simplify things, but I'm not doing the one pen, one bag, anything like that. But I will leave some links below of the videos that I do watch that I'm really inspired by as well, so you guys can check it out if you actually feel like doing that. But yeah, for me that just suits really well. I don't like to put too much limits on myself because then I get really anxious. I've already got severe anxiety and PTSD, so putting more pressure on myself is not what I want to do, but I definitely like to challenge myself creatively, and I think this will work really well. I think that I will update you guys whenever I feel necessary, and also I'll be talking a lot more about recovery and really actually speaking up about um, my current recovery from an addiction that is not often talked about when it comes to women as well. As I've mentioned before, you know, I'm recovering from being a sex worker and having that addiction as well. And I don't think it's talked about a lot that I know of. And I would really like to start talking about some of the things that I'm feeling and going through, because I would like to be able to provide that for somebody who may be watching, because I know it's a very difficult topic. And I think that, you know, when we do have videos where people are talking like raw and just really from their heart, that's how people can connect and grow as well. And also to, you know, I don't think we always need validation from others, but when it comes to healing and recovery, having somebody who's going through the same thing as you, not exactly the same thing, but the same addiction or the same recovery issues, is really, really helpful, and I'm finding that really helpful myself. going through literature and watching videos and talking to other people as well. So that's something I really want to work on this week, because this month, because it's something that I'm passionate about as well. Not being silent and um, not sort of suppressing stuff. So I think that having a journal as well, where I can put all the things that I'm passionate about and love, it's going to bring me back to that place as well, because I found that even though I'm doing a lot of shadow work and a lot of heavy stuff is coming up, I need a place where I can feel safe, a companion, and a place where I am daily reminded of the things that I am passionate about and that um, help me as a spiritual person. So, thank you guys for watching. And oh, I should show you some crystals too. I got some new crystals yesterday, I think it was. So, I got the Shiva Lingam, which is the balance of female and male energies. Um, and it helps with Kundalini awakening and things like that, which I really like, because I've been wanting to find a stone that can really help bring those aspects of myself together, and I really love it. I love the colors of it. Then and then I bought two rainforest jaspers. I really like this square one that's sort of like a palm stone, and then I saw this like speckled. It's just really beautiful, although it has a hole somewhere or a dent in it, and I like that. And then there's like this kind of. I tend to really like stones that look like trees or earth or nature, and those will be going on my altar, my bedside altar, in dedication of July intentions. And then I got an emerald. And for me, I only just realized this, but it's been in my consciousness probably. I've been working a lot with the idea of emerald energy, especially since the Morrigan has an association with emerald as well. And you guys have seen my emerald necklace that's on my bed, and then I saw this, and then I just thought this would be really good on my altar for the next month. Also, since I've picked it up, these veins have been actually appearing. It wasn't like this yesterday. It was very muted yesterday, and now it has these really beautiful veins, which just means to me it's responding quite well. So, those are my new crystal babies. And I usually buy crystals before the start of the month that I feel that are going to really work well on my altar as well. And I also, let me show you guys if I can. Oh, let me set up. Crystals, crystal babies. Charging in the rain and sun energy for the new month, because we're in the dark phase of the month, I think. Now I'm really going. So thank you guys for watching. I love you all, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.